said, I'm Katie Rees, and I did my thesis on the effect of foam rolling on hamstring flexibility on Division I lacrosse players. One thing about foam rolling is it uses myofascial release technique. So I'll go in and explain a little about this before I go into my study. To begin, myofascial release is a technique that uses manual therapy to manipulate and increase the function of the fascia and muscles in the body. It can be performed by multiple tools and techniques, such as a foam roller, which is what this is right here, by a roller massager and a scraper, as the picture on the left. A massage is another form of myofascial release. The fascia is a connective tissue that wraps around all the muscles and organs in the body. The fascia allows the muscles to have structure yet maintain its flexibility. Right here in this picture, you can see the fascia, this part right here, and also the parts over here that are the whiter color. It surrounds all the muscle fibers. When the fascia tightens, it can cause itself to lose its pliability, and there it decreases physical performance. Self-myofascial release, which is what a foam roller does, or a roller massager, or even a lacrosse ball, is what I did my study on. It's when this tool is rolled up and down the entire length of the muscle, or is focused on a trigger point like you might use with a lacrosse ball. Typically, self-myofascial release is used to alleviate pain, improve your flexibility, increase range of motion, and help out with physical performance overall. Stretching techniques that people typically think of are static stretching. It's one of the most well-known stretching techniques. Although static stretching, which is when you sit down, say you stretch your hamstring, and then you stretch out and hold that position for a little while, it can decrease physical performance. Because think about when your muscles contract, the actin and myosin fibers are kind of like a ratchet motion, but when you stretch them out, they don't work as well. So that's why static stretching doesn't work as well as, say, dynamic stretching, which is when you're performing the movement that you do when you're working out. So say you're going to squat that day. You're going to squat and do a bunch of squats without weight before you actually do it with the weight. And that's one way that you can improve the flexibility before you squat. Why foam roll? Why did I choose this as my study? One reason is, as a lacrosse player here at Robert Morris, we foam roll before and after every practice. It's just something that we do all the time. And I kind of wanted to know, does it actually work? What's the point behind this? So through my study, I learned that foam roll can be used pre and post workout for different types of things. Pre-workout, it can be used as a way to increase flexibility. Post-workout, it can be used as a way to help alleviate swelling or pain after the workout. Another reason people use foam rollers such as this is it is able to help decrease injury. As I said earlier, working out or warming up before working out is huge, because it allows your muscles to warm up and become more pliable, because you don't want to go into a workout without warming up. And this is one reason a foam roller can help, is because when you roll it along your muscles, it increases the flexibility and it warms your muscles up, allowing your fascia to warm up and become in that more pliable state, which is really important for working out. In my study, I had 20 women's lacrosse players as my participants, but before I did this, I made sure to look and exclude all the participants that had an injury or surgery 6 months before, since they could inhibit the results of the study. In my study, I had the participants complete a sit and reach test before and after their foam rolling to measure their hamstring flexibility. And in this study, I had 2 treatment groups. I split the 20 players up into 2 groups of 10, where one group foam rolled for 3 sets of 30 seconds, and the other group foam rolled for 3 sets of 60 seconds. And after the foam rolling and the sit and reach test, they completed a questionnaire about their experiences. Here you can see is the foam rolling technique that I used. The participants foam rolled their hamstring. The first picture on the left is an individual foam rolling her ischial tuberosity, and then they would foam roll their hamstring down to their posterior knee. The picture on this slide is of the sit and reach board. This is when an individual is reaching out with their feet flat against the front of the board, reaching out, and then I would record the score. Every time they completed the sit and reach test, they did it 2 times, and then I took the average of these results. For my results, I completed 2 statistical tests. The first test is an unpaired t-test. Unfortunately, with this test, I compared the the group 1 and 2 data, and it came out that it was not statistically significant, as with a p-value of 0.502. And here shows the mean difference of group 1 and 2, and you can see that it has such a high standard deviation. For my second test, I completed a Wilcoxon Hamstring test. This test showed that there was a significant difference with a very low p-value. In this test, I compared this average sit and reach scores. I combined group 1 and 2 data and compared the before and after foam rolling sit and reach test. Because I wanted to see, does foam rolling help? Is it helpful if the individuals foam rolled for 3 sets of 30 or 3 sets of 60 seconds to increase flexibility? Here is a chart with the different average sit and reach scores before foam rolling, after foam rolling, and the difference in the two. This is a 1.4 inch difference in hamstring flexibility, which is huge when you're working out. With my 2 tests, I came to a couple of different conclusions. First, with the unpaired t-test, I determined that the individuals in group 1 and 2, it didn't matter if they foam rolled for 3 sets of 30 or 3 sets of 60 seconds. I figured out that this was too long of a time for individuals to foam roll. And with the Wilcoxon-Steinreich test, I did determine that foam rolling was beneficial. Even though I might have had them foam roll for too long of an amount of time, a 1.4 inch difference in hamstring flexibility was huge for student athletes. And in this, I determined that foam rolling can be helpful for warming up. This is the major aspect I was looking into my study, is the warming up. Instead of a static stretching, which can decrease performance, foam rolling doesn't decrease its performance, so it can be used in lieu of static stretching. And in my questionnaire, I found that the majority of the individuals did feel less sore after, and they felt like their hamstrings were longer. Further studies could go about a variety of things. First, the muscle groups that were foam rolled. You could see if one group was better with the foam roller compared to another. I personally did the hamstring, but people could do the calf muscle or they could do the quad. The amount of force on the foam roller is another important aspect. There have been studies completed that say that some people, say maybe a larger guy, has a more beneficial reaction to the foam roller than a smaller girl because he has so much more force put on the foam roller and put on his muscles. And the ideal length of time on individuals spent foam rolling is another important aspect that really needs to be looked into further. And in conclusion, I found that foam rolling is beneficial for increasing hamstring flexibility with an 8.7 increase that I found between the before and the after sit and reach tests. And here are my references. And if anyone has questions, I know we're going to do the combined question.